Hey guys, Matt here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Scream 4. Now usually when you look at a series of movies or a franchise, a lot of people say, first one, the original, classic. Nothing can top the first one. Then you have the sequel, which in a lot of ways tries to be like the first one, has a lot of the same elements, but continues the story. Or just tries to make money on the first one. And then when you have the third one, trilogy, third one a lot of times isn't as good. And they just try to cash in on the first two. And then a lot of people say when it comes to a fourth movie, oh, forget about it. It's going to be the worst. Well, there are exceptions, in my opinion, to that rule. Live Free, Die Hard, good example. The fourth Rambo movie. Well, does Scream 4 make up for the second and third not-so-great movies? Yes, it does. And I was actually surprised. Scream 4 is directed by Wes Craven, as are the other ones, and stars Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Emma Roberts, and has a co-starring cast of a plethora of actors and actresses, including Anthony Anderson, Adam Brody, Kristen Bell, who else is in? Rory Culkin is also in it, who, in my opinion, is a far better actor than his brother, Macaulay. It also has the boy from Saw 2, Daniel, the son. He was actually in that. I saw him, he looked familiar, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's who it is. So it was surprising. He did a good job, and Hayden Panettiere is really good in the movie. I don't quite know if I like her with short hair as she has in the movie, but her role is pretty good. So the plot is basically 10 years after the first Scream movie. Neve Campbell, Sydney, has released a book, and the last stop on her book tour is Woodsboro, which is the place where she originally lived, where the killing started and took place in the second and third movies. And, well, she thinks she's going to have a nice homecoming until the killings start up again. And it was interesting because, without giving it away, the killer's motive in this movie was not to kill Sydney, but to basically make her life a living hell. And, well, I can say that the killer does just that. And it's interesting because you'll never see the killer coming. Before I saw the movie, I thought, okay, Scream 4, no way is it going to be good, and I was like, the killer is probably going to be somebody outrageous that really doesn't have the skills to be a killer, if not Sydney herself be the killer. So I saw the movie, and I can say that I was very wrong, and I really enjoyed the movie. It's a close second to the first one, if not better than the first. It's a lot like Tron Legacy and Predators, where it doesn't copy the first one, but it's just as good, and it has a lot of the same elements as the original. Now, the acting from everybody was good. I don't think Anthony Anderson and Adam Brody really should have been in the movie, but their roles, I guess, had to be there. And Anthony Anderson does give a great one-liner with his scene with Adam Brody when they're in the police car. Pretty funny. So, music, good, your typical suspense, horror movie music. There was quite a bit of humor in the movie, which was good, because, you know, besides being in suspense and gripping onto your chair, being at the edge of your seat, there were moments in there that made you laugh, and it was good, because it kind of helped you forget about the terror that was ensuing. Now, the thing with this movie that was interesting was Scream 4 takes place 10 years later. And in that 10 years, there have been 7 stab movies, which is like the Scream parodies without all the comedy. Because they made movies based on the original killings from the first one. Like, I think in the second one, the movie Stab is being released. Well, after 10 years, there's been 7 of them. So they talk about these movies like their rules, like their guidelines. And they mention a lot of recent horror movies as well, like the Saw movies are mentioned, even all the remakes that have come out recently. Halloween, Hills Have Eyes, Amityville Horror, all of them. And there are 2 guys that are part of the horror movie club in the school. And it's neat because every time there's a killing, or they try to guess who the killer is, they go by movie rules. You know, they go by movies that have been made in the past, and they say, okay, well, if the killer acted this way in that movie, then he's going to act this way in this movie. And it's really neat because stab movies are a take from the first Scream movie, so basically they're referencing the first Scream movie. Anyways, watch the movie, you'll see. So, I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. There's really not much you can say. So, if I had to rate this movie from a 1 to a 5, I'd give it a 4. So, until next time, see ya.